Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors Dynasty here on College Football 25. Today, we have another full season ahead of us. Last year, we did the dang thing, and we went back to back to back national champions. It happened. But we suffered maybe the greatest loss we've ever suffered in this franchise or this dynasty's history, and that was our five-star freshman. Well, he's not a freshman anymore. Former five-star quarterback Leo Van Dyke. He had gotten us every year he had started, his freshman year, his sophomore year, and I guess his junior year because he started the junior year, but he didn't finish the junior year. He got us to national championships and won them. But in his junior year, early in the season, I think maybe the second game or something, he suffered the most devastating injury you can suffer, and that is the torn Achilles. It gets everybody, and the torn Achilles comes for everybody. And unfortunately, it's such a devastating injury that not only was he out for all of last year, but he's going to miss all of this year as well, most likely. I don't know the exact amount of weeks left he's on the injury list, but it's probably enough to pass all the way through the playoffs. Thankfully, we were able to put the medical red shirt on him last year, so he didn't waste a year of his eligibility. So now he's a junior red shirt instead of being a true senior. So at least if he comes back next year, he can start as a senior and still have one more year to put film on the table for the NFL draft. It just sucks that he's missing basically 2 years of his career due to this Achilles injury. But we had somebody step up in his place. We had an unlikely hero lead us to a national championship, and that is Stephen Abbott. We recruited him a couple of years ago. He was never meant to be the starter until probably after Leo's graduation. But he was thrust into the starting role on a team that has very, very high expectations, and he delivered. He had a great season in the Oregon offense, and he led us all the way to the national championship and won it. So I guess what do we do at the quarterback position next year if he comes back for another year after winning, if he wins it this year again, and then he comes back for another season after this next episode, then we have two quarterbacks that have won multiple national championships for this school. Who's the starter? So we can't think about that right now. That's in the future. All that we can think about right now is this season up and coming and seeing if we can actually win another national championship, which would be super, super awesome if we could do that. We've got some good players. We got some really good players. And I'm really excited about this team. We're still obviously in the Oregon playbook to simulate, hopefully, as well as we can. And I guess the only thing left to do is to simulate the season and see how this Hawaii dynasty goes. So let's get into it. If you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. The full season is about to begin. We are here at week number 1 of 2029. The number 6 ranked Hawaii Rainbow Warriors headed into the season. Our schedule is as follows. We take on Arizona, then Wisconsin, then UNLV, then the bye. That's obviously for the Pineapple that we lost last year, which was super unfortunate. Then the bye. Then we take on Charlotte, then Cal, Texas Tech, Stanford, Washington State, SMU, Colorado, Liberty, and we wrap up the season against Utah. So it's a decent Pac-12 schedule. Pretty tough at times because there are some ranked teams in here that we're going to have to face. I think we should be able to get the job done. Hopefully we'll be able to get the job done. If we take a look at the coaches' contracts, we have had tremendous success here in Hawaii, including 3 straight national championships and 4 straight national championship appearances. Because as we talked countless times before, 2025, the second year of the dynasty, we made it to the national title game but lost to Penn State. So We have had tremendous success. The only thing we haven't had is a perfect season. As you can see, we have at least one loss in every single season up to this point. But maybe, just maybe, this season we can do it. This would be, what is it, season 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Season 6 is upon us. Oh, and I hate to even go over to the injury report to see it because it just makes me want to cry. 19 weeks. 19 unfortunate weeks left on that injury, on the injury report for Leo Van Dijk with that Achilles tear. I don't know if that would be the season. I guess we could do a little bit of quick math to see if he comes back. But at that point, if we're making it that deep into the playoffs, why would we take Steven Abbott out in the first place? But if we go all the way down here, so we have all these weeks, which would be down to week 14. So that means he would be down to 5 weeks left, then 4 weeks left, then 3 weeks left. And that's all the stuff pre-playoffs. And then we get to the round 2, the quarterfinal round. That's 2 weeks left. Then the semifinal round is 1 week left. So there is a reasonable chance that he makes it to the national championship game. He's back healthy. But I can't, if we're in the national championship game, I can't take Steven Abbott out because he obviously would have been playing amazingly well. And speaking of the devil, Steven Abbott, the 80 overall or 82 overall junior redshirt quarterback who won us a national title last year, is back as the starter. He's the clear and obvious choice to be the starter other than obviously Leo. And he played unbelievably well. You can't knock him. You can't knock him at all. He played great. If we could take a look at his career stats, he's probably only played the one season. Yeah, he only has his one season numbers. I mean, he put up 3,800 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions in his one season. So I'd say he played out of his mind. Although, did he play? Hold on, let me go to. Can I see like individual stats, career stats, season stats, awards? So I can't see his. Okay, so I can only see his. I can't see like individual year stats. I can only see the career stats. That's okay. I'm pretty sure he's only played the 1 year as the starter, because obviously why would else? I guess they could be a little bit skewed because he might have come in like garbage time in some games. I don't remember, but for the most part, these are his last year numbers, which were absolutely fantastic, and we won a national championship. As far as recruiting goes, we are in the running for a bunch of 5 stars, and I have this man, Christian McGinn, at the top of our board because if you remember, he is a freak. 99 speed. Now, his acceleration is a little bit low at 89, but he's got 83 man coverage out the gate as a freshman. This man looks like a monster. Now, obviously, we're going after some more 5 stars. We are in the position to get a lot of good players. We only had 700 hours, so we had to be stingy on who we're going after, but we should be able to come away with some good players if everything goes our way. I'm not going to jump into game number 1. The only reason I jumped into game number 1 last year was because it was the rivalry game against UNLV, and I was hoping we'd win that pineapple for the rivalry. We unfortunately lost that game. But I'm not going to jump into this one. We will simulate week number 1 against Arizona. They're unranked. We should be able to take them down. We've got locked out of a few people. That's fine. Our program tradition keeps on going up. We're now to an A. And Taylor Bullock gets 7 total tackles in the game. And we are 1-0. Perfect. Now we take on number 9 ranked Wisconsin. That might be a pretty tough one. McGinn, we're looking good on. We're looking good on all these guys. We'll have to take off the guys that locked us out. It's okay. Perfect. We're still in... Oh, I thought that was us. That's Baylor. I saw green. I thought it was us. I was going to say we're still in the lead for this 5-star that we haven't even gone after. But we're looking pretty solid. We are looking pretty solid for all these guys. We are now probably in position to schedule some visits already for some of these guys, but we might have to wait another week just in case. Yeah, let's wait 1 more week for scouting, scheduling visits out. Do we jump into this game against Wisconsin? That's the big thing. I mean, they're number 9 in the country. Do I think we can win this game? I don't know. We might have to jump into this. Might have to get a little jump in. Hawaii versus Wisconsin. Thankfully, it's at home, so that might make it a little bit better, but I think we are going to play the moments for this game. All right, we're jumping in to play the moments against Wisconsin. They are the number 9 ranked team in the country. They're also 1-0 in the season. They've tied it at 7. And we are going to jump in here with a minute to go in the second quarter in the red zone, trying to get another touchdown on the board here. Although the clock is accelerating. We have 2 timeouts. So we got to be careful. Don't want to run out of time. I think I'm going to hit Brazil. Joshua Brazil holds on to the pass. I'm going to call that second timeout. Abbott does have an interception in this game already, which is not necessarily that good. That must have been how Wisconsin scored their first touchdown. Capitalizing off the turnover. We'll go underneath. That's going to be Matthew Bliss. He drops it. Matthew Bliss, a veteran of the team at this point. It's a little weird not seeing Matthias Felix. I'm a little bit stunned that Matthias Felix is not on this roster anymore. He's off to greener pastures. Hopefully that means he's off to the NFL. He didn't get drafted, unfortunately. I think that's a little bit of a mistake not drafting him, but he didn't end up getting drafted. So hopefully he gets picked up. What a diving catch by Keaton. Manny Keaton, the true freshman, making an impact. Double sleeved up as well. That was a crazy... I didn't expect that to be such a difficult pass to catch. But I guess the ball was led a little bit too far. And the defense is holding up a little bit. Make a stop here. Oh, they scored. But they didn't get... they didn't get the field goal. Or the extra point, I mean. It is 14-13. They didn't get the extra point. That's kind of crazy. That might open up for a huge play. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Geo Starks. Who needs Matthias Felix when you got Geo Starks? I apologize to Matthias Felix. Matthias, if you're watching this, I didn't mean that. You're still my favorite. But Geo Starks is such a stud. And now it's 21-13. I know I probably shouldn't have scored that quickly because if they score here, it's going to look pretty bad. But they might not score. They're going for it on 4th down. 4th and 12 from the 19-yard line. They need this touchdown to stay in this game, obviously. Oh, but Nick Steed ends the game, and the Rainbow Warriors are 2-0. Nick Steed with the sack. And Hawaii will move to 2-0 on the season. That's a big top 25 matchup, even a top 10 matchup against Wisconsin. I think that... Oh, he gets the player of the game, too. He deserves it. I think that we win that game because we were the home team. I don't think if we had to go to Camp Randall, we would have been able to win that game. Great diving touchdown catch by Manny Keaton, the true freshman tight end. And we survive to move to play another day. Big W's. Abbott didn't play his best game of football, but we won. And that's really all that matters. That is really all that matters. We get locked out of a 4-star Alec Claybrooks, but we are first on a few important people. Our championship contender somehow goes down with a win. I don't understand that. It's now time to play the Pineapple game. And yeah, now is the time to really start scheduling some visits because we're not getting anywhere with these guys. They're not going to commit unless we get some visits in on them. So we're going to have to start taking away some points and putting them on other people. So I think we can take away some points from Christian McGinn because we're in such a good lead for him. So if we take away the 25 and just leave 50 on him, and we do the same for Emeka Cheeseman, that already gives us a clean 50. So we can schedule one visit, which probably needs to be Cheeseman. And maybe we take away from DeMarcus Shore. We take away the 25 from him. And then we can probably take away 25 from Frederick McCain as well. So that leaves us with at least 2 visits we can schedule so far. But who do those visits need to be? They probably need to be Emeka Cheeseman because Oregon's making a big push. We need to get him committed for pretty soon so we can use those hours elsewhere. So we're going to schedule him for the Charlotte game. We're going to send him for brand exposure. That'll be week 5. We need to use the other one on... We could just do Frederick McCain and maybe guarantee his commitment. Although if we do that, he might just commit outright. It might not be worth to send him on a visit. He might just commit right away. That's kind of what it looks like, at least. Maybe we need to do a visit for somebody who's a little bit farther down the board, like McGinn and Allen Davis. Let's get a visit for Allen Davis. We'll schedule him, and he gets the complimentary visit with Cheeseman, so we'll get him on a visit. What does he like? He likes championship contender. Good thing we have an A in championship contender. And that leaves us with 20 hours left, so I can't really do anything too crazy with that. Except for maybe offer 2 other guys 10 hours each. Because how else could I do this? I can't put, there's no 20 thing except for a soft sell. I guess a soft sell is a possibility. Maybe we should try to soft sell a Mecca or a Christian McGinn. Let's try to soft sell him. We have not the greatest grades on him, at least for what he's interested in, but we have an A, B plus, and a D. I don't necessarily like that. That's not a fantastic little sell, I don't think. We don't have enough. Oh, we can't. We already have 75 on him. A Mecha Cheeseman, can we sell on you? Okay, we have better grades for him, at least for what he's interested in. So he likes this one, which is to the house. We have an A, an A, and an A minus. That should completely lock Cheeseman into this recruiting class. That should. And now we take on UNLV. I'm going to simulate this game, even though it is a rivalry. I think we should be able to coast to a victory. They're not the same level of competition that we are. Although I say all that, who knows what's going to happen in the game. We are 6th on Jalen Galladay, which is not great. He's a big 5-star that we'd like to get. We won the game. Huge. We're number 4 in the nation. It's coming down to the wire on Alex Evanson. This guy, we got passed on for him. We have 80 hours. We can schedule some visits. Now, we got into the race for some of these guys. I don't know how we got in the race for them. We got to schedule some more visits. We have 2 more opportunities to schedule visits. One needs to be Christian McGinn. It just has to be. And then we're going to get probably Alex Evanson. He's probably next on the board to get a visit. So we'll toss him in, and he also gets complimentary visits with that. We're loading up that Charlotte game, man. We are loading up that Charlotte game. If those 3 guys, I mean, all 4 of these guys are on campus in week 5. So we are loading up that game. We need to get back in the race for Tyrell Aragon. How do we do that, though? Maybe we swap Steven Siptak. We take his 25 hours away, and we give those 25 hours to Tyrell. Or Terrell, whatever his name is. Maybe that'll help us a little bit. But we are in some tight races early, that is for sure. And week 5 is the next week. Charlotte game is upon us. Do we jump into that game and try to make sure we get a blowout? I don't know. Oh, we get Frederick McCain, 4-star corner. And Britton Prochet, 4-star middle linebacker, commit to the team. Huge. Absolutely huge. And our championship contender went up to an A+, by the way. That's 2 big commitments already. I wasn't even expecting those guys to commit. I thought that they would be a little bit later down in the year, but we are still looking good. That frees up so many hours. We can get DeMarcus Shore back on 75 and schedule him a visit for probably week 7, just as close as possible. And then we can get the full amount of hours back on Siptak and schedule him a visit. He gets a complimentary. We'll do coach prestige for him. And we probably need to get a visit for Aragon. And we need to get him on week 8. He likes coach prestige. We have 35 hours left. That's not enough to schedule a visit for Tavita Kukas. But we're still in the race for some of these guys. I don't know why. How are we growing? We haven't even done anything on these guys. But I might as well put some hours on them. If we're already growing when I haven't done anything, maybe we can get them actually when we actually put hours on them. So 2 commitments already, a 4-star corner and a 4-star middle linebacker. So we got 2 guys in the class, but I'm hoping for some more. We are going to jump into this game against Charlotte because I want to guarantee a blowout to kind of give us the best opportunity because we have so many important people on campus for this game. So we're going to jump in and hopefully blow out Charlotte. They shouldn't be really any competition. All right, we need to blow out Charlotte here. And we're already up 7-0. That's a good start. I might not even have to jump in. I just only wanted to jump in just in case it got a little dangerous. I figured this would be how it would go, but I just wanted to jump in just for safety reasons. But they do put a touchdown on the board. But we keep putting touchdowns on the board. I can't believe we must have went for it or something because we have an uneven amount of points for the touchdowns. It's 33-10 though, so the blowout is in fact on. Although they got a freaking touchdown again. And we win 33-16. Is that 17 points? I'm not good at math. Yeah, it's got to be, right? Because 16 plus 16 is 32. So, yeah, I think it's exactly 17 points. I think it's exactly 17 points. So we just escaped the blowout. Just got it. Can we secure the commitment of some very important prospects? Please show me the commitment screen for a bunch of guys. Alex Evanson, 5-star D tackle. Emeka Cheeseman, 5-star defensive end. But no McGinn. Christian McGinn does not choose to sign this week. That's kind of annoying. I was kind of hoping we get him out of the way. That's okay. He's right there. He's right there. Why couldn't he just signed? But Alex Evanson's a big one. He's the number 5 player in the country, along with Cheeseman being the number 6 player in the country. Davis didn't sign either. He was on campus as well. We might have to go to a hard sell for these two. Or maybe they just commit after this week against we're losing on Argon against what's his face? Cal. We don't have grades to hard sell Argon. We might just be out on him unless the visit really helps us. I don't know. Cookus, we can put an extra amount of points on him and we can get him on a visit. He's on campus week 9 against for USC. So if we get him on week 8, we might be able to snatch him away from USC. That could be pretty nice. And look at that. I mean, we're pulling on these other 5-stars. I haven't even really gone after them that hard. And we're still in good position to get them. So they're 5-stars. I might as well go after them. I'm never going to be opposed to going after 5-stars. And this 4-star corner, we might as well go all in on as well. There we go. We just put the full 75 on him. That leaves us with 10 extra hours to go. I guess I can use those 10 hours to... Oh, actually, I've scouted everybody. All right, I guess I can find somebody else to put on the board. We already are number 9 in the country with 2 5-stars, 2 4-stars. What else is left here in the board on recommended? There's a couple of people left. There's a couple defensive ends. There's some corners. But those are all 4-stars. Are there any 5-stars available other than the ones we're going after? I would assume the rest of them have been taken. It looks like they have. There's a tight end. So we might as well just go for the guys that are recommended to us because all the 5-stars seem to be taken up. So if I go over here to the first and the interest board, we can find Mike Wilbon, who's a physical wide receiver. There's a defensive end and a guard. I probably should put these 2 guys on here. We might need another defensive end. There's another Yo. Is that Alani Yo's brother? Siaki Yo? Could be his brother. I guess we'll find out. We got to find out where what's-his-face is from, where Alani Yo's from. Let's just offer some scallies to everybody. Okay, so hold on. Before we simulate the game against Cal, let's find out if he's from Texas, then we can make a little bit of in-universe lore. Oh, he's from Hawaii. Miliani, Hawaii, is Alanio. Well, you know what? Maybe they're cousins. Maybe the other Yo, his family moved to Texas from Hawaii. And they're cousins. Let's just say that. All right, simulating the game against Cal, week number 6. This is big. We got to get a win because we are on the verge of getting those other 2 guys committed. Christian McGinn, 99 speed corner, commits, and Alan Davis, the number 2 player in the country, commits. I knew they were just a week away, but we lose out on Siptak, Aragon, and Cookus. We couldn't steal him away from USC, unfortunately. I thought we might be able to. Steal them away. But Alan Davis committing is huge. Number 2 player in the country. And then we get Christian McGinn, who's got 99 speed, which is big. But Siptak chooses Ohio State. Aragon chooses Ole Miss. And Cookus chooses USC. It's unfortunate, but we just didn't have the hours to put on these guys. We were kind of in a bad spot. And we are looking pretty good for all these guys, actually. These extra guys we put on the board. So let's just go all in on them. I know we haven't scouted them yet, but they're 4-stars. How bad can they be? We'll put the full 75 on everybody. And then with whatever hours we have left, we will schedule some visits. So we'll put that on there. We have 170 hours. We should be able to schedule some pretty decent visits. Actually, we can't schedule anybody here because they haven't got down to the top 5 just yet. We can't actually schedule any hours or any visits because nobody else has gotten down to their top 5. But we have jumped in the lead for these extra 2 5-stars. That'd be pretty huge. If we could pull in 3 more 5-stars, to the already 3 5-stars we have, that's 6 5-stars in this class. So it would be pretty awesome if we could do that. So let's just add some more people to the board. We'll add this right tackle since we lost out on the other one. We don't really need a running back. necessarily. I mean, it says we need a running back, but I don't think we do. Maybe we do. Tyree Tandy, a scrambling quarterback. I'm always interested in quarterbacks. I'm always going to be interested in quarterbacks. We definitely need some offensive linemen, that is for sure. There's another wide receiver. He's a 4-star. There's another quarterback. He's a field general. I'm not interested in field general quarterbacks, but I could be interested in some middle linebackers slash centers. Let's just offer some scallies to everybody here. I actually want to use some hours and scout Tyree Tandy. 86 speed, 91 excel. That's not horrible. With 93 throw power, we could work with that. That's actually pretty solid. I've seen a lot worse at the quarterback position, so we can work with that. So we'll offer some scallies to everybody here. We're probably not going to get everybody, obviously, but it doesn't hurt to offer on everybody. And I will... who are we in need of putting the most hours on? We've got Allgaier. We got to get him in, get in the race for him. We should probably toss some hours after... probably after Sizemore, since he's down to his final 5 already. So let's toss these final 40 hours onto Alex Sizemore. And that'll be what we do for that week. We've made it to week 7. We do have a couple guys on campus, unless those guys are already committed. I can't remember. They could have already been committed. Against Texas Tech, DeMarcus Shore, another 5-star, commits to the team. Huge. And we're in first for everybody except for Shaughnessy, which is fine. All right, we're looking good. We take on a big rival in Stanford, but we lost that game, actually. We have one loss. Did we really lose to Texas Tech? That's kind of annoying, actually. I was hoping, why can't I ever get the perfect season? You can't ever just give me the perfect season, can you? All right, well, we better load up this final week. This is the last chance we have to put recruits on campus, this Week 12 game against Liberty, so we might as well load up as many important people as possible to get on campus here. Alex Sizemore, he can't come in on Week 12 because he's already going to Oregon on Week 12, so that sucks. Who else do I want to send on campus in Week 12? Well, I can't really send anybody else on campus. Except for Henningsen. We might as well get him on campus in Week 12. He's got a big complimentary boost as well. That leaves us with 15 hours remaining to put on to, I guess, Tyree Tandy. Why not? We could probably put them on one of these other guys, but we'll put them on Tandy. I can't believe we lost that game. That's kind of annoying, actually. We'll simulate week number 8. Big game against Stanford. They're ranked as well. We don't get any commitments just yet. Did we win the game? I didn't see what the record was there. Jalen Peters, wow. 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a big game. Does that mean we won? No, we lost. 2 losses on the year. Wow. We're losing games I didn't think we'd lose. That's kind of sucky, actually. I'm not quite sure why we're losing these games. We are not that bad of a team. That's not where I wanted to go. At least we've won the games that we needed to win. We went crazy in those recruiting games with the recruits on campus, so we won those important games. But I really wish that we wouldn't be losing these games. I think we were 0-2 in the conference. Is that what that was? Have we lost every game in the conference? Sizemore chooses Oregon. It's so hard to compete against Oregon in recruiting, man. Joe Hemingway. Whoa. Do not tell me Stephen Abbott is hurt now. We won against Washington State or whoever we were playing. Do not tell me that Stephen Abbott's also hurt. You gotta be kidding me, bro. What is with these injuries? It's only a broken thumb. He's gonna be back. But, I mean, come on. My backup quarterback is hurt again or hurt now? Maybe that's why we lost those games. That has to be why we lost those games. Because with Stephen Abbott at the helm, I don't think we would have lost to California or to Stanford. So we didn't lose to Texas Tech. We lost to Cal and Stanford. That's so frustrating, though. Why are my quarterbacks the ones getting injured? All right, super stupid. Super stupid. Sizemore commits to Oregon. We've got 40 hours, which means we can schedule one visit. And I guess that one visit's going to be Steve Hunt, the defensive end. No. It probably needs to be the guard, Chester Colombo. Let's get him on campus. Let's get him on campus week 12. That's probably the last week 12 visit we have. And we're getting very close to week number 12. We got a couple road games here. This one against SMU. And we will possibly win it. Yes, we did win it, 7-2. Thank God. I don't know why we're losing these games in the first place. And now Stephen Abbott should be back, so that's good at least. All right, we got 40 hours again. We need to lock up some of these recruitments. Steve Hunt needs to get committed already, but we can't get him on campus because we're out of visits. All right, well, I guess we're going to have to just go the old school way and just hope that these guys want to come play for us without having to come on campus. We're just going to have to hope that that's a thing. Let's get Robbie McCullough. All right. We could always switch to hard sells, I guess, but we'll leave it right now for what it is and see what happens. Taking on Colorado, one of our final road games of the year. Bart Faucha, a late 5-star commits. Steve Hunt commits, 4-star. David Allgaier, right tackle commits. 3 big commitments, including a 5-star. A late 5-star on the board. That's huge. Nick Steed gets player of the game, or player of the week. We do win the game. So now we come back home for the final recruiting visit of the year. This recruiting class is coming together. It's not as amazing as I would have wanted it to be, but it is very good. It is a very good class. And getting Faucha is huge because I wasn't even really targeting him at any point in this recruiting class until the very end. So we are looking to get Jalen Galladay after this visit. Hennison's on campus as well. Colombo's on campus. Siaki Yo, unfortunately, we can't get on campus. Allgaier also commits to the program. So that's huge. We can finally go all in on Tyree Tandy now that we have all those hours freed up. So let's toss 50 and then toss 75 or 25 on and make 75. We don't have any spots for visits, though. That might hurt us in the end. We can finally go for the full 75 on Shaughnessy. We can go for the full 75 on Devin Eddy, who is another right tackle, which we don't necessarily need now that we got the other guy. But it doesn't hurt to have depth. That's for sure. We'll take away that. We'll go full 75. And we will go full 75 as well for Javier Stoudemire. And this class is going to end up being pretty good, regardless of if we get everybody here that I'm offering. This class is still already going to be pretty good. We've jumped to number 5 already. We have 5 5-stars and 5 4-stars. If we're able to get the other 5-star, that's 6 5-stars to this. We're already going to be guaranteed pretty much top 5, maybe even number 1, because we still got a lot of hope for some 4-stars. So we are in a good position right now. We're sitting kind of pretty. Do I want to take a look at 3-stars? I don't necessarily want to take a look at 3-stars. But are there any 4-stars left? Any ones that we're not going after? There's got to be some. Maybe there's not. Maybe there are no more 4-stars left available. There is one. Tyrone Cutie. All right, we'll put him on the board. He's a run stopper archetype. But maybe he can play other stuff. There's also a running back, Demarius Coffey. We'll put him on the board. At this point, 4-stars are always helpful. Another tight end. We don't need a blocking tight end. Blocking tight ends kind of suck. A 6'5" physical wide receiver. I'm all in on 6'5" physical wide receivers. You don't have to tell me twice. I am curious about this Tyrone Cutie, though. 90 speed. Oh, my God. I don't know if I've ever seen a 90 speed run-stopping archetype. You're getting the house. You're getting everything I can physically throw at you. Oh, my God. 93 speed for Montel Big Hill. We're definitely going after him. But Tyrone Cutie might be priority number 1. Hold on. Let's take some hours off of somebody else here. Javier Stoudemire, I said earlier that we're going to go full on you. No. No. We need to get in the race for Tyrone Cutie. That's a freak. 90 speed? Okay, wasn't expecting that. Liberty's actually a decent team overall wise, or record wise. But we have the home field advantage. We have guys on campus. Our 6th 5-star, Jalen Galladay. Stephen Henderson also was on campus. He commits. Chester Colombo was on campus. Siaki Yo, I don't think he was on campus, but he commits. We get locked out on Demarius Coffey. We didn't put any hours on him, so it makes sense. I didn't have enough hours to put on him. Now I do. Oh, that's a big week. We win the game, and we get all of those guys, including that last 5-star we were going after. Ooh, that's quite the recruiting class, ladies and gentlemen. Quite the recruiting class. You love to see it. And now we can go all in on Cutie. It's going to be a battle. We might have found him a little too late. We are making a positive push, but we might have found him slightly too late. Slightly too late. We will go in on Daryl Balaj. Let me just scout you real quick. He's a gem. 87 agility, 81 acceleration. Looks like a pretty good athlete. 6'5", 239. I'd be willing to bring him in if he wants to come play for us. And then Montel Big Hill, we already looked at him a little bit. He had 93 speed, 95 jumping. I've seen enough. I have seen enough. I want him on my team. I'm a big fan of 6'5" speed receivers. We'll go back on 50 for Stoudemire. We are trying our best to get these guys. We might have to switch to a hard sell on Tandy. That might be the best thing to do for that. So let's go and do that. So we'll switch to a hard sell. Not that one. It's going to be this one. We have A+, A-. That's good enough for me. Hopefully that works. All right, so we'll switch to the hard sell on him. Not having the visit really hurts for Tyree Tandy. Who else do we need to switch to a visit? Maybe Devin Eddy, although we are passing and NC State's falling behind, so maybe we don't. I think we'll save these last 60 hours and not use them. Do we jump? We might have to jump into this Utah game. This might be too big to not jump into, because if we go to the conference standings, there's a good possibility we don't play in the Pac-12 championship game this year. Stanford is 6-1. Utah is 5-1. We're 4-2. So we have to win this game against Utah if we want to have any chance of thinking about playing in the Pac-12 championship. So we got to win this game on the road in Utah, 5 versus 6. This is a monumental game. Okay, starting the game on the road in Utah. I mean, this is a 5 versus 6 matchup. This is really winner goes to the Pac-12 championship to play Stanford. That's really what this game boils down to. We take a 3-0 lead with a field goal. I'd like some touchdowns, though. Get some points at the end of the half. 27 seconds, one timeout. Is the clock going to roll as we get in? It might. No. Okay, it stopped for now. That's good. But I picked a play that is not indicative of... Did they hear that? At least Stephen Abbott's healthy. I think they heard it. They definitely did. I'm going to get that out to Max Hape and just run out of bounds, Max. Okay, got a few yards. Save that timeout. Didn't necessarily work as well as I would have intended it to, but it worked enough. 21 seconds, one timeout. 2nd and 4. I didn't think that Utah defender was going to cover that, if I'm being honest. I see the guy in the end zone wide open, but I honestly didn't think he was going to follow that. I thought he was going to go travel somewhere else and we were going to have that open. 3rd and 4, 18 seconds. I think that's just a little check down to Steven Kranchik. He gets open. We got to call that final timeout. And now we're in a big do-or-die situation. What play do I even call here? I don't even know. Maybe a deep stick and then audible somebody, but I don't think they're gonna be able to hear me if I audible. Let's send Max Hape. Did he hear that? He did hear it. All right, that'll be my safety valve if nobody else gets open. And it's going to have to be Max Hape, the backup running back, catches the touchdown right at the end of the half. They brought a huge blitz, and I had to get that ball away. And now we're in a good spot. Let's turn on the chew clock just in case. But we have the ball right at the end zone here, ready to score. If we could score here, that'd be huge for this game. That'd be a 17-0 victory, or 17-0 lead in the second half. I didn't mean to calm down the crowd. Kranchik into the end zone, touchdown. 17-0 is huge against the number 5 team in the country. What's happening? 17-0 still? 24-0? I didn't think it'd go like this. I thought we'd be in a fight. They finally get on the board. It's only 24-6 though. This one's over. 31-6. Wow, we blew them out. That is not what I expected at all. That's a huge win. They only got 6 points. They were the number 5 team in the country. We killed them. That is massive. That is a massive, massive win. Because that almost, it doesn't guarantee us, but it almost guarantees us a spot in the Pac-12 championship. It's a good chance we get in now. Because now we have the tiebreaker over them. And we are in. Hawaii and Stanford will play in the Pac-12 championship. That was the game. That game determined whether we were going to get in or not. That's huge. That's a big, big win. And the fact that we blew them out is even crazier. All right, so we have 100 hours left. There's not much else I can do except for switching some of these to hard cells. I guess that's what we're going to have to do. We just don't know enough about them. He likes brand exposure. He likes good old brand exposure. So if we hard sell, I don't have enough hours for that. Oh, I guess it'd be 90. I guess I can't do math apparently. Hard sell. So one that deals with brand exposure is definitely going to be one. This one probably is what it is, to the house. Let's do that one. Let's just take a big risk. It's a big risk guessing like that, but it should work out for us. Darrell Balaj, we are really far behind on him. But his hard sell, he likes coach prestige, so we know that. It could, in fact, be also to the house. We're going to take that risk. Sometimes you got to take risks when you are in big, heated battles for big-time recruits. You got to take these big risks. That's not what I wanted to do. So we go back to that, into the hard sell. And we know 2 of the 3 that he likes. So it's probably also to the house. All these guys like to the house, apparently. Which, it's good for me. We have a good to the house. Tyree Cutie, we need to also switch. We know one of his, which is championship contender. Is he also to the house? Yeah, probably. He's also probably to the house. That's the one I don't really want to screw up, though. We don't really need to switch anything on Robbie McCullough. We're pretty much guaranteed to get him. Devin Eddy is one I'd like to switch. He's probably also to the house. And he is. It's easy when to the house is what they need because that happens to be really good for us. And Tandy's already to the house. So, okay, we've switched everybody. I guess I can finish scouting Tyrone Cutie. Oh, he's a gem as well. I already knew that. He was a gem in my heart. He looks like an absolute athletic freak. 85 tackling, 90 speed, 87 agility, 87. Oh my God, this dude is unbelievable. This is one of the best prospects I've seen in this game. And he's only a 4-star. He looks like a monster, athletic-wise. He might not be the most technical pass rusher in the world, but I guess that's why he's ranked as an athlete and not a pass rusher or defensive end. And we get Tyree Tandy, another quarterback. We didn't necessarily need another quarterback, but I'm never going to pass up the opportunity to get another quarterback. I like to hoard quarterbacks on my roster. And we take on Stanford in the Pac-12 championship. Let's add Tandy to the board. He's already added. Perfect. Shaughnessy's looking good. We're looking good for everybody. Ugh. Okay, it is. I mean, those Ole Miss and Arkansas are going down, which is good. I think we might just be out on Darrell Balaj. We did get it right. We got the right pitch. The hard sell was the right pitch. And I think we got it right for everybody. Yeah, everybody we got it right on that we tried it on. We should switch Devontae Shaughnessy. He's not going to be to the house. He's going to be TV time. And then the only other one that we didn't do was Robbie McCullough, which I guess I thought we were going to... Ooh, we have bad grades for him. Never mind. We might just have to write it out with him. I don't want to sell a D and a C to Robbie McCullough. So we might... If we don't get him, it's fine. We have Shaughnessy, who's also a middle linebacker. We got Siaki Yo, who's also a middle linebacker. We got We don't need another middle linebacker. So if we lose him, it's not the end of the world. I still keep him on the board just in case. But if we lose him, it's not... I'm not going to cry about it. But we will jump into the Pac-12 championship game. Number 4 Hawaii versus number 15 Stanford. Before we jump in, what's the bracket look like? We need to know what the stakes are. So we are currently the 7 seed, and Stanford is the 4 seed. So if we win, we swap positions with them, and they'll get bounced out. So Stanford won't make the playoffs with 4 losses. So this is a really big game for them. But if we win, we'll get the bye as the 4 seed. in the Peach Bowl, which is huge. That's what I want. So let's go and win a Pac-12 championship. Another one. We will take possession of the football against Stanford in the Pac-12 championship and hopefully come away with some points here. 7-0. That's big. Love to see it. The Stanford team beat us, I think. They were one of the teams that beat us earlier in the year in simulation, which I can't believe happened, but I think that was when Stephen Abbott got hurt. Is probably why we lost those games. And it's 17-0. The games that we've jumped into recently have been huge for us in the scoring. It's 24-0 in the fourth quarter. We can kind of go on cruise control at this point, and I think we might. 31-0. I thought we were going to put up a donut on Stanford, but we win 31-7. We kick Stanford out of the playoffs. They're going to sit at home and play in whatever bummy bowl game they get, but we are going to be the bye, the 4 seed, and it's Stephen Abbott who's the player of the game. What a revelation he's been. We had the biggest tragedy, if I could say the word. We had the biggest tragedy you could ever ask for, which was your starting quarterback, your number one quarterback, goes down with an Achilles tear. He's out for 2 years, basically. I mean, think about that in real life. If that's happened before. Just think about the pressure that puts on you with the team with the expectations as high as they are for like Hawaii, as we get Devontae Shaughnessy and Robbie McCullough. So it ended up not having to put the thing on him. Oh, we lose out on Balaj. I knew we were going to lose on Balaj. But Devin Eddy, I did not think that we'd lose out on. And he chooses NC State. That kind of sucks. But yeah, Stephen Abbott, the pressure put on him to have to carry this team to the national championship with the expectations we have. Absolutely insane. I know I didn't take a look at the stats before we played that Pac-12 championship, but here are the stats anyway. 2,200 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions for Abbott this year. And Joe Hemingway, in his games that he played, how many games did he actually play? Is it going to tell me? He played in 13 games. I'm assuming he played in 3. He played in the 3 that Stephen Abbott was injured for. Maybe 4. I don't know. He played in a good amount this year. 753. I mean, these are great numbers for Joe Hemingway. That's a good sign for possibly the next in line after Van Dyke and Abbott are gone. Rushing numbers, the Oregon playbook's not about rushing with the running back, so Kranchik's numbers have drastically dropped since his freshman year, but that's okay. He still got 16 touchdowns. Receiving numbers, Jalen Peters, Geo Stark's having good years, but nobody's putting up Matthias Felix numbers, and nobody probably ever will. Taylor Bullitt, great season from him. Pelshak had another good season, which I hate. Funk and Steed both had 9 tackles for loss, and Ramon Funk with 11 sacks in his senior year. Good for him. He was kind of an underrated recruit, and he comes in and puts up a good senior season. Nick Steed, 9 sacks, 7 for Cole Falk. Interception leader is, of course, Pelshak. Starks had 3. Alana Yo had 2. Oscar Camilla had 2. All right. Those are your numbers with the full regular season and the Pac-12 championship game taken into account. And we will get ready for the playoffs. Javier Stoudemire commits. Tyrone Cutie, the absolute freak of nature middle linebacker, or it says he's a middle linebacker. He could probably play anywhere. But he commits. That was the main one that I absolutely had to have. The next one that I absolutely have to have is the wide receiver Big Hill. And TJ Barnes, wide receiver from Maryland, 27 touchdowns. He wins the Heisman. That's crazy. And no awards for the boys? That's a little weird, but whatever. Early National Signing Day is upon us. We will take a look at how good some of these guys are in their terms of their dev traits. Big Hill is the last guy on our board. I don't know if we're going to be able to get him. We've already hard sold him. We've done everything we can. We just didn't have that visit. It's a little scary for him. All right. What do we got for dev traits? We got Alan Davis, impact, but he does have platinum quick jump out the gates. Star for Alex Evanson. Impact for Emeka Cheeseman. Star for Bart Faucha. Impact for DeMarcus Shore. Star for Jalen Galladay. Star for Christian McGinn, the 99 speed corner. Normal for Frederick McCain. Impact for Britton Prochet. Normal for David Allgaier. Impact for Steve Hunt. Henningsen had impact as well. Star for Chester Colombo. Impact for Siaki Yo. Star for Tyree Tandy, the quarterback. Devontae Shaughnessy with elite dev. Awesome. Star for Robbie McCullough. Javier Stoudemire had normal. Tyrone Cutie has star. That's awesome. I would have preferred like elite because he seems like an elite player. But hey, stars are good too. And then we don't know what Montel Big Hill is because we haven't got him yet. He might just commit to Ole Miss. That's probably what's going to happen, which is going to be annoying because I would like to have him on the roster, but there's not much we can do. We kind of found him a little too late. We did buy. Oh, we didn't buy Elite Recruiter. We might as well get into that. All right, now we are officially a Elite Recruiter. And we are working on Master Motivator right now. We have 3 players drafted in our history here to be able to unlock. Oh, it would be nice to have quarterbacks recover faster from injuries, that's for sure. A little too late on that one. I guess we just spend on quarterbacks get an off-season training boost. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. Let's move to the bowl games. We will play the Peach Bowl. We'll jump in for the Peach Bowl. And it'll be against Middle Tennessee State. What? Oh, it's not the Peach Bowl. It's the Fiesta Bowl because we're the 3 seed. Or wait, are we the 3 seed? What's the bracket look like? We were supposed to be the 4 seed because that's where Stanford was. We end up being the 3 seed. Okay, that's cool. I guess they were the 4 seed because they had 3 losses. We only have 2. That makes sense. So we end up being the 3 seed with the bye. We take on Middle Tennessee State, which is such a random team to have to take on. We have a history with Alabama. The first 2 times we made the college football playoffs, we played Alabama. So we do have a history with them. We also have a history with Texas A&M, who's on the top side of the bracket. The only way we'd match up with them is in the national championship game. But we kind of got a little lucky there. Middle Tennessee State beats Auburn. We kind of get a little lucky. And we will jump in and hopefully win the Fiesta Bowl. The Fiesta Bowl is upon us, and I'm still going to call it the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl because that's what the Fiesta Bowl is. I don't care if they change sponsors. It's not the Verbo Fiesta. Get out of here. The Verbo. It's the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. That's what it is. So here we are in the Tostitos Festival, and we're actually Fiesta Bowl, and we're actually getting kind of stomped on. 17-0? Is Middle Tennessee State that good? 17-3. We're fighting. 3rd down opportunity. It's not over yet, but 17 points is not a good deficit to be down, especially to a team that's not on our level. They are not necessarily on our level at all. Max Hape with the carry. He got to the 10-yard line, and they want me to kick the field goal. Down 17-10 in the 3rd quarter of a playoff game. You want me to kick a field goal to go on 17-6? Really? That's what you want me to do? When I have Matthew Bliss for a touchdown? They don't know what they're doing. They don't know the play calling that I know. So we get a huge one there. We just need the defense to step up, and I think they did. And look at that. We are right down in the goal line again. We didn't take that much time, and it's 17-10. We have a chance to tie. Just throw me some blocks. Steven Kranchik do the rest, and he did. He stayed on his feet as well. Steven Kranchik into the end zone. We have tied this Fiesta Bowl. The defense has really stepped up. And now they want me to get the end of the game. They want me to finish the job. 2:42 to go. Middle Tennessee State has not done anything since they scored their last touchdown. Our defense has really, really stepped up. And all we got to do is just win. Just win, baby. Just win. Max Hape will get the first down and a little bit extra. That'll be the 2-minute warning. I mean, we could just win with a field goal. I'd prefer to win with a touchdown, but I guess I'll take a field goal if it means we win. But Kranchik, he got a lot of blocks, and he's down to the 16-yard line. He's super good. He's super, super good. We could change this to a pass and dump it to Jalen Peters. That'd be pretty sick. But we'll hand it off to Kranchik to keep doing our thing. And now Middle Tennessee State starting to get a little nervous. Starting to get a little loose poo, you could say. Little turtle head popping out for Middle Tennessee State fans. They had this game pretty much won. I mean, starting 17-0 and 17-3 then. Their fans would not live this down if they were to choke this game. But it looks like they might. They've run out of timeouts. They are in the danger zone. And I'm on the highway to the danger zone. From the 3, Kranchik. End zone. Touchdown. Hawaii has the first lead of the night for them. Can the defense hold up one more time? It's 1st and 10. Oh my God, they need a touchdown, and they have 30 seconds and no timeouts. They're going to go for it all. He's got it. Touchdown, Middle Tennessee State. We could not cover. I cannot believe they tied it. I cannot believe we're in this situation right now. Is this really happening? Is this real life or is this a fantasy? You know what I got to do? I got to send my GOAT, Geo Starks, down the field. He's got to save me. Geo Starks, win us the bowl game. He's going to do it. Touchdown, Hawaii. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. One play is all we needed. You don't press Geo Starks. And the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors have moved on to the semifinals. This is the team of all time. The greatest. Stephen Abbott gets player of the game again. I am the greatest. That's what I'm talking about, baby. We cannot be defeated. We win a magical Fiesta Bowl, and we will move to the semifinals to play against either Alabama, I think, or LSU, I think was the other team. I'd probably honestly play Alabama. Matthew Bliss gets player of the week. Good for him. And it is Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. We have some history. They're kind of a pseudo-rival at this point. At least a playoff rival. We played them a couple of different times. Who won in the top of the bracket? Ooh, Oregon and NC State. NC State took at least one of our recruits. I don't know if they took two. Can't remember exactly. But Oregon, I mean, Oregon's dangerous, man. They are dangerous. But we got to get through Alabama before we have to worry about possible Oregon. So, it's the Sugar Bowl. Alabama, Hawaii. It ain't nothing but a thing. Oh, we have Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. I did say I'd rather play Alabama than LSU, and I just hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the end. But we lead 14-0. That's a great start. They get a field goal. It's 14-3. We get another touchdown before half. It's 21-3. Okay, now we're starting to cook. Can we do some more stuff? 28-3. Don't choke this like the Falcons. Alabama driving. Alabama couldn't get it. And that's the end of the game. 28-3, we win the Sugar Bowl. Hawaii will play in another national championship game. We have built the dynasty. I think it was already safe to say we built a dynasty because we won 3 in a row. But this is going to be our 5th straight national championship appearance. If that's not a dynasty, then I don't know what is. And we have a chance to win 4. This man, Stephen Abbott, has gone from relative nobody on this roster, just a random backup who had some decent potential, to now winning a national championship last year and playing in another one this year, all while Leo Van Dyke is still injured. Which, if I did my math correctly, which is not necessarily going to be true that I did, Leo Van Dyke should be back for this game. But there's absolutely no way we're taking Stephen Abbott out of this game when he's gotten us to this point twice in 2 years. And we will play, oh my God, Oregon lost to NC State. So we will play the Wolfpack in the Natty. 31-25 they lost. That's crazy. Not what I was expecting at all. Is Leo Van Dyke healthy for this game? He's back, but torn labrum for Steven Kranchik. These injuries are out of control, man. These injuries are out of control. And they have thrusted Leo Van Dyke back into the starting role. I'm sorry, Leo. I'm not going to give you this start. This is Stephen Abbott's championship to win. He won it last year. He deserves to have another chance to win it this year. He's gotten us to this point. And we only have 2 losses because I'm assuming he was injured for those 2 games that we lost. So he really hasn't done anything to lose us any games. But it's time for the national championship. If Stephen Abbott wins this game, he's become a Hawaii legend. He's up there with the greatest Hawaii players of all time. So, is he going to be able to do it? It all comes down to this. Oh, another national championship. And the second one as the starter for Stephen Abbott. I mean, like I said before we jumped into the game, if he wins this game, he has etched himself into Hawaii lore as maybe the greatest of all time. but he's got a lot of work to do. It's 21-13 entering the fourth quarter. Come on, team. I want a fourth straight title. I really do. 24-13. That's a good little lead. NC State gets on the board. Come on, don't fail me now. We did it! National champions for the fourth straight year. Stephen Abbott. He's the man of destiny. I already called him the man of steel. He's the man of destiny. Now, who's to say that we wouldn't be in the same exact situation with Leo Van Dijk as starter? But we don't know. We'll never know because he was injured and Stephen Abbott took over and he filled that role beautifully. He far exceeded any expectations that I had for him as the quarterback. And he has made Mr. Juice. He has made Coach Juice one of the greatest college football coaches of all time. I guess you could argue the greatest because as Stephen Abbott wins player of the game, well-deserved, maybe the greatest because what other coach in college football history has won 4 in a row? Man, what an epic run for Stephen Abbott. This 2-year run that Abbott's been on has been crazy. But this also brings into question, what do we do next year? I guess that'll be answered depending on whether Leo Van Dijk enters the draft or not, or leaves after the season's over. I wouldn't think that he would. He's missed 2 years of his career. He's barely put any tape on film. He's barely put any film out there for the NFL scouts. I can't see him leaving. Our pro potential's gone up though, which is nice, and our athletic facilities have gone up as well. Another national championship for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. We are really building a dynasty, which is exactly what I wanted. Jalen Peters gets himself player of the week. Congratulations. And that is the end of season recap. We'll take a quick look at All-Americans because I know for a fact we didn't take a look at this yet. But I'm guaranteeing you that there's not enough Hawaii players on this. There might not be anybody. Okay, Ronnie Simonson makes it as second team national. No freshman or first team. The disrespect is crazy. What about the Pac-12? We get Kranchik, we get Rymiersma, we get Hawker, Simonson, Bullet, Yo, and Christmas. So that's probably the most I've ever seen on an All-American list. What about second team Pac-12? We get Ralph Hacker, nobody else. Freshman, we get Tim Osika and Jimmy Sims and Carlos Truebrud. So we get some respect in the Pac-12 at least, but nothing in the national ranks, which is kind of annoying, but it's to be expected. So the full season stats after every game is wrapped. 2,800 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions for Stephen Abbott. Then we go to the rushing numbers. Kranchik puts up 18 touchdowns. Good for him. 870 yards for Peters. 800 yards for Geo Starks. Both had 9 touchdowns. Defensively, 92 tackles for Taylor Bullitt. He's a freak. He's an absolute monster. Ramon Funk and Nick Steed continue to be a nice 1-2 punch at defensive end. They also had the most sacks, 11 for Funk, 10.5 for Steed. And then interceptions, we didn't really change much. I think these might all be the same, actually. All right, but I do want to take a look at Stephen Abbott's career numbers. He ends up with that's Leo Van Dijk, 6,700 yards, 5,912 interceptions. Man, he is putting up, I mean, he's given Van Dijk a run for his money. That is for sure. Oh, but now we get to the off-season stuff. The off-season where we get to say goodbye. No, Montel Big Hill. I knew he was going to go to Ole Miss. I didn't have enough hours. We just didn't have enough time to get him to change. We couldn't get him on a visit. It was just all bad, but we don't necessarily need another wide receiver. I would have loved to have him. All right, so we're going to lose a lot of great players. No quarterback. So Leo Van Dijk will be back for a senior season, which means we've got 2 quarterbacks that have both won 2 national championships each for them. So, who do we start? At running back, nobody. Fullback, we lose Diego Vanderroos. Matthew Bliss will graduate at wide receiver. Tight end, nobody. Left tackle, nobody. Left guard, we lose Nate Mouty and Rashawn Dwyer. At center, we lose Titus Bragg. Right guard, nobody. Right tackle, nobody. Left end, we lose Ramon Funk. You've been great. Shane McGarry's been good as well. Nobody at D-tackle. We have a very young D-tackle room. Nick Steed will graduate as well, along with Raphael Rudolph. Antoine Binns will graduate. He was fun. He was only fast, is really all he was about. Alex Trejo was a great linebacker for us, but he kind of got overshadowed in the end by Taylor Bullitt, who surpassed him. And Alani, yo, I'm sad. No. He was so good. Clint Lanier will graduate at corner. No safeties, no kickers, no punters. We're going to be losing a lot of fun players. A lot of guys that we've had that we recruited in the very beginning of this dynasty. Ramon Funk, we recruited in this dynasty, obviously. I don't know if any of them will get drafted. I hope so. They deserve it. But no NFL team takes a shot on any. How? See, that's the kind of thing that doesn't make any sense to me. You're telling me in real life, if you have a team that wins 4 straight national championships, you're not going to take a player in that draft? You're not going to take any of them? Not a flyer? Not in the 7th round? You're not going to take anybody? Doesn't make any sense to me. Whatever. We will focus on off-season recruiting in the portal. We might not even need anybody in the portal. We've had a pretty good freshman recruiting class. And of course, shocker, there's nobody at the top in the transfer portal that even wants to consider us. We've already been locked out of everybody before I've even had a chance. So, transfer portal in this game blows. That is for sure. I will add Shaquille Gentry just because he's interested in us. He might be the only guy we go after. We don't really need anybody, to be fair. We've kind of had a really good class. We'll take Montel Big Hill off. Top classes, we are number 2 right now, and we might not pass Penn State. I guess if we just loaded up on random 3-stars, we probably could, but we've already unlocked Elite Recruiter. It doesn't really matter getting a number 1 class in the country as long as we get number 2. It's not that big of a deal, so we'll just stick with where we are. And there's no reason to load up on recruits, 3-star recruits, when we don't need. We have limited roster space as it is, so we don't necessarily need that number 1 spot. So we will put the 75 on Gentry and just let it ride. This is probably going to be a quick off season because there's not really much we need to do, at least in the recruiting side of things. We took care of a lot of that during the season. So we've got, we jumped heavy into Shaquille Gentry. That's huge. He might just commit after this week with that big of a jump. No. Whoa! He chooses NC State. Even we had him on a visit week. We scheduled him on a week 2 visit. What could NC State have possibly done to get him to commit to them? That's crazy. I thought we were pretty much guaranteed to get him. Wow. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to get anybody in the portal. We'll just continue to move on, not offer anybody else, and just be content with the recruiting class we have with all the freshmen. That's insane, man. I thought we were guaranteed to get Gentry, but NC State apparently offered him, I don't know, the moon? The key to the city? I don't know what they offered him. But he chose to go play for NC State. Whatever, big dog. Good luck being in purgatory. We already took a look at everybody's depth chart because all these guys were committed by the time early National Signing Day came, so we don't have to look at that. But we do officially finish with the number 2 class in the entire nation, right behind Penn State. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. But now we get to the ever-important position changes. What do we got? We got Tyree Tandy, who is coming in as an athlete, but he is a quarterback, at least initially. 6'4", 199. What is it with all these athlete quarterbacks that can be running back, but they're also tall? I can't have a 6'4", 199 running back. That's not what I want. I could move him to outside linebacker, though. That might be pretty interesting. He's a 71 at speed rusher, as a speed rusher. That could be pretty fun to have. I mean, he's not going to play at quarterback, let's be honest. We have Stephen Abbott, we have Leo Van Dyke. And then we have Joe Hemingway behind them. And then we have Titus Byler behind him. And then we have Tosh Parker behind him. So this guy, Tandy, he's kind of out of luck, unfortunately. I think I might move him to outside linebacker. I think that could be pretty fun. Let's move him to left outside linebacker, see what he does. And then we've got one more athlete. Who was it? It's Tyrone Cutie, the freak. He can be a safety? Ooh, 6'2", 242. He is a little small for a linebacker, to be fair. Ooh. But I kind of want to put him at linebacker. Another 90 speed linebacker. I'm going to do it. He was recruited as a linebacker. He was an athlete linebacker. I kind of want to have him here. He looks like an absolute monster. 90 speed. He replaces Alani Yo, who was 90 speed as well. Is there anybody else on roster that we should change positions? So Kranchik falls behind Max Haight, but that's before the training takes place. We'll see what happens there. Do any of you guys want to change positions? No, you can't be anything else, really. What about Juan Vela? Oh my god, he's an 87 vertical threat tight end? What? Max Haight? He's a fullback, a 90 overall fullback at 6 foot 188, but he's an 87 overall vertical threat or tight end. Why? I can't put a 6 foot player at tight end. That seems diabolical. I can't. That even in college, I can't do that. Vela is a fullback. I can't drop into fullback. He's too good of a player to have him at fullback. What about Keelan Streeter? Moving him to fullback wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Nah, we'll just keep him at running back. It's fine. And then at wide receiver, we got some studs. Starks and Peters enter their senior seasons. Caesar Warrior is really taking a step up. Man, we got such a good receiver room. We are so loaded at receiver. It's kind of scary, actually, how loaded we are at receiver. Ooh, Eric Dicker actually is a decent running back, which is kind of weird. What about Tony Poe? Also, all these guys can play running back. I guess I have a type of wide receiver that I recruit. Lane Kunalik can play tight end. 6'2", 205. Not necessarily my type of tight end. Siaki Tuafeli, he's 6'5". That makes me a little bit more intrigued to put him at tight end. Siaki Tuafeli, he now becomes the #1 tight end with Joshua Brazil. What about offensive linemen? We got Rymiersma. We've got Osika. We've got Duggan. We're pretty loaded here. We probably need to move one of these guards to left guard. What about Deontay Hutton? 77 at left guard. That's totally fine by me. You can go back up Osika and be a left guard. And then a right tackle. We got a lot of right tackles. Defensive end. Cole Pounds will now start. We got so many right ends. So many right ends. Can anybody be flexible? Cheeseman. He can play a little outside linebacker. 6'2", 251. I might consider a move for Cheeseman. What about Steve Hunt? He can play some D tackle. 6'5", 256. Are we kind of loaded at D tackle? Yeah, he wouldn't really play. It's not really worth moving him over. And then we've got where's the other dude at? Where's the freak? There he is. I already moved him over. That's right. Tyrone Cutie. We are loaded everywhere. We're probably going to have to make some cuts, that's for sure. Because we are loaded at every position. From Christian McGinn, man. 99 speed. Oh, he's so good. He's such a beast. And he's got 83 man coverage at the gates. We've got Maramosa, who we recruited last year. He's got 96 speed. Hanginson's coming in with 94 out the gates. Nobody's going to run past us. Nobody. Now, their agility and acceleration is not fantastic, but nobody, just pure speed-wise, nobody's going to run past us. That's for sure. We're loaded at safety. We're loaded at kicker. Our punter kind of sucks, but that is what it is. Who cares about punters? And we will advance to training results. I'm hoping some big jumps for some of our crucial guys. And here are the training results. Kranchik is the new #1 player in the country, or not the country, in our team. Van Dyke stays ahead of Stephen Abbott. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? Do we just give the job back to Leo Van Dyke? It feels a little disrespectful after what Abbott's done for us the past 2 years. I feel like I'm in a situation like what Urban Meyer was in with Ohio State when he had Cardale and JT and he couldn't decide after Cardale won the national championship for him in 2014, that 2015 season, which I contend is the greatest Ohio State team I've ever personally watched. That you look at that roster from 2015, you look at everybody that was on that roster, that is the greatest Ohio State team I have ever watched. And they didn't win anything because Urban could not figure out who he wanted to have at quarterback, so he went with a two quarterback system, and it was just nobody could ever get comfortable. It was never going to work, and I don't want that to happen for us. I don't want to keep swapping in and out. We're going to have to make a decision, but I don't know who that decision is. Oh, that's tough. If you guys in the comments could help me out, that would be really helpful because I don't know what to do there. Kranchik is obviously the number one running back. We are loaded at running back as well. We're loaded everywhere. That's the point. We're supposed to be loaded everywhere. And Eric Dicker, of all people, takes a massive jump. He's now an 88? He's the highest overall receiver we have? Well, that's not something I expected at all. That's actually pretty big because he's only a sophomore redshirt. So when Peters and Geo Starks graduate next year, Eric Dicker could be like a 93. That's kind of crazy. I like that a lot. That was a huge jump. I was not expecting that. Tight end Joshua Brazil gets a good boost. He jumps up past Tuafeli. Ramirez was looking good. Offensive line in general is looking pretty good. We're all developing pretty well. Love to see it. Cole Pounds gets a nice boost. Cole Falk. We got the Cole brothers in the coal mines at the defensive end spots. They're growing pretty well. Afa Masaga getting some good development. Ronnie Simonson, baby. What a stud he is. Jimmy Sims is growing well. Wade Karloftis coming off of the red shirt. He's looking pretty good. Drango is a great player with 85 speed. Taylor Bullett's one of the best linebackers I've ever had. And he's only continuing to get better. Ben Savage comes in as an 87 off the red shirt. Wow, I think he was like an 82, 83 maybe when we recruited him. 87 now. He's a beast. He's obviously starting. And then we got some great corners. Pelshak's still here. And then we got some great safeties. We got some great strong safeties. Excuse me. Great kicker. And the punter went up to a 74. That's good. Anthony Scruggs. Good for him. We are absolutely loaded for the next year. Absolutely loaded. We need to do a little bit of thinking here, though. So while we're doing the encourage transfers, which we need to encourage a few, we need to figure out how long we're going to go in this series. So who are some of the final guys that we care about? We obviously care about Stephen Abbott and Leo Van Dyke, but they're seniors, so they're going to be graduating this next episode. Do we care about any of these other quarterbacks to follow their careers for another episode? I don't necessarily know. At running back, we care about Keelan Streeter. We care about Steven Kranchik. They're going to be seniors. They're gone after this next episode. At wide receiver, we care about Geo Starks and Jalen Peters. And I guess maybe now Eric Dicker. But these two guys. So a lot of the guys that we absolutely care about are going to be seniors, which makes sense because they're one of the last recruiting classes that we actually had a lot of input in, and we got to know those guys by playing with them a lot. So it makes sense that all the seniors are guys that we have personal connections to. The rest of the guys we have connections to, but we didn't play with them every single game during the season like we have with the seniors. So we might be only going one more episode with this Hawai'i Dynasty. And to be fair, that's probably good because we've kind of won everything we can do. We've won 4 straight national championships. It might be time to pack it up in the Hawai'i Dynasty. But it's been really fun. I've been having a great time in this. I'm going to cut you. I don't even honestly remember who you are. Offensive line. Yeah, I mean, some of these guys, we've been here since the beginning. And we have personal connections with them, but they're all old. They're all going to graduate. So it might be time. Next episode might be the final episode of Hawai'i Dynasty. There's a really good chance. There is a really, really good chance that next episode is the final episode of the Dynasty. Which is going to be a sad day. Absolutely. It is going to be a sad, sad day. Because we've spent a long time. I mean, we started this really, really soon after the launch of College Football 2025. It might have been that first couple weeks, maybe the first week. I can't remember even. But we've been with this team for a long time, the whole year. And ending it's going to be pretty sad, that's for sure. Do we need Matthew Loper? I don't know if we do. We got to cut somebody. It might have to be Eric Colley. I know he's an 83 overall. I can't cut an 83 overall. That seems a little crazy. Matt Slayton can get cut, though. And it might have to... We might have to cut that Matthew Loper, dude. I know he's a senior. He's been here for a while. I remember recruiting him. But there's a lot of other people that are better than him. Or at least have the potential to be better than him. And he's kind of a waste of space. And we needed one more spot. So 85 of 85. We made those tough decisions. And we will get ready for possibly the final season of Hawai'i Dynasty. Possibly the final year. All right, so let's get the custom schedule ready to go. We're not playing in week 1 or week 0. I don't like playing in week 0, so we'll take that game off. We have a game against Stanford. A Pac-12 game right out the gates is crazy. I guess we could play Arkansas this game if they really want us to play Arkansas. Then Georgia Tech and Washington, and then UTEP. Beat up on some minors? Ooh, but the recruiting visits are not ideal. We might have to take away this week 11 game and put it a home game just to give us an extra chance to recruit. Yeah, let's do that. Let's fill this game with some home game against the home team. Let's do Illinois, I guess. Sure, why not? But we got to have a home game so we can do some extra recruiting. And then we'll leave this game. How many games do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we have 12 games. I guess we'll have the 2 buys. It's not that big of a deal. Can I even schedule a game here? Will it let me? No, we've reached the max number of games, so we can only have 12 games, obviously. So we'll keep the schedule the way that it is. Save the changes, and we will set up the recruiting board. We have 1,100 hours to work with. And I'm assuming a lot of 5-stars want to come play for us. Not as many as I would have liked. Not as many as I would have liked. Oh, 5-star quarterback. You know I'm all in on that. I love me some 5-star quarterbacks. That's for sure. I'll just put a bunch of 5-stars on the board. Obviously, we won't be able to get any of these guys, but doesn't hurt to have them on the board. Especially a 5-star corner. Absolutely. And then we'll go down, look for some 4-stars. Maybe some wide receivers. Definitely some guards. Probably not a tackle. We were pretty good on tackles, actually. But some guards absolutely could be on the resume. Put some running backs on there. Some more corners. What else do we want to do? Definitely another corner. Another corner. Maybe another defensive end. An athlete. Maybe another wide receiver. He's 6'5". That could always be helpful. And then possibly another D tackle. Sure, why not? All right, so I'm going to go and spend all these points, scout everybody, offer scholarships, and I'll bring you guys back when we are done with anybody that possibly is intriguing. All right, so I've offered scholarships, and I've scouted every single one of the 35 guys we got on the board. There's some decent players in this class, particularly in the cornerback room. There's some freaky corners in this class that we have on the board. There's this guy, John Slaughter, which, by the way, great name and a great mustache. 94 acceleration, 93 speed, 85 zone coverage right out of the gate is amazing. Then you got Terrell Tongues, which, another great name. Tongues and Slaughter in the backfield. I mean, what are we talking about here? Or in the secondary? He's got 94 acceleration, 97 speed, and 84 acceleration. Then you've got Jason Thomas with 98 speed. Then you've got 94 speed for Ricky Holyfield, 92 speed gem for Kareem Cookus, and 95 speed for the white man, Robert Samuel. These guys all look like absolute monsters at the cornerback position. There's some decent players around the board as well. There's some decent outside linebackers, some good defensive ends, but those corners are really what I wanted to show you because they are all kind of freaky. The quarterbacks, I didn't find anybody like too special. There's some good players. This guy in particular, Evan Osgood, has got 86 speed, 93 spell. He's got Platinum Option King. He looks decent. His throw power is okay. Cole McDonald also looks okay. They all look fine. I'm not particularly interested in a quarterback this year because we have a lot of log jam at quarterback already. But it's 5 star. 5 stars are all that matters. We did get locked out of one guy, unfortunately. How many hours are we working with though? 900. I can work with that. That's better than 700, that's for sure. So Zach Turbin locked us out. That's fine. The running backs were okay. Jordan Gage was pretty decent. He had like 90 something speed, 91 speed, 91 excel. Plus he's got 89 break tackle, which is pretty crazy, and 87 trucking. Obviously, I'm going to go after the number one player in the country in Corey Kalu, or Kalu, whatever his name is. We're going to offer him full 75 just because he's the number one player in the country. You kind of have to, at least from in my opinion, you do. And then we're going to go into these corners and we are going to go ham. We are going to go absolute ham on these corners. We might offer 4 of them because they all look like absolute studs. So put in 25 on him. Jason Thomas, he's 6 foot with 98 speed. He has to be one of the guys we offer for sure. And then who was the final guy that we wanted to offer? Probably Robert Samuel. Although he's only got 80 zone coverage, 79, 82 for maybe Ricky Holyfield's a little bit better. But Robert Samuel's got more press. He's got 75 press to the 72 of Holyfield. Only 70 man coverage. They're about the same. They're very similar players, which is kind of annoying to me. I hate that they're so similar. But Holyfield's an inch taller, which might end up being a little bit better. So I think we'll put at least 50 on Holyfield. Maybe not the full 75, but we'll put 50 on him. And then for anybody else, who else do we want to go after? There were some decent D tackles. This guy, Dorian Stokes, looks pretty solid. I mean, he's got crazy athleticism. So we might toss a few buckaroos at him. Also, Tavon Hawk also looks like a monster. Definitely want to put some stuff on him. Devontae Gainwell, we're already in the lead for, so we might only have to toss 50 at him. Same thing for Trayvon Flowers. Let's just toss a little 50 burger at him as well. Some offensive linemen. We definitely need some guards, so we probably have to go all in on these guards. Maybe not all in, but got to put some 50 hours on them. And then tackle. It says we need tackle. We don't necessarily need tackle, but I'll put 50 hours on one of them just in case. The wide receivers are okay. They have some good speed. I wasn't blown away by any of them. They're okay. They're good. I mean, this guy, Levi Willett, has 85 spec catch, which is pretty cool. We might go in on him. And then we've got the quarterback and the running back. I'll put 50 hours on the running back as well. And I guess we go back to... Let's go back to some of these defensive players and maybe an outside linebacker. Which one of these outside linebackers was the best? Probably Ty Simmons. 86 speed, 86 pursuit, 87 accelerated. Yeah, he looks like a pretty good athlete. Plus, he's got some good skills, so we'll put some hours on him. All right, and we've spread our hours around to everybody. And now I will go and... that's not what I wanted to do. I will go and move these guys up to the top of the board. And then we will wrap up this episode, which has been very productive. We've gotten ourselves another national championship. And like I said, we will probably play the final year of Hawaii football in the next episode. That's what it's looking like, at least. That is what it's looking like. Because we've kind of done everything we need to do. We've won all of the national championships we could ever need. And a lot of the guys, the last few guys that we care about, are all going to be graduating after this next episode. So we will see their careers pan out and figure out where to go from there. Get ready for College Football 26, which is coming out very, very soon. But I also want to know in the comments, what do we do at the quarterback position? Do we start Leo Van Dyke or do we start Stephen Abbott? There's a big quarterback debate going around. What are we going to do in the next episode? If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.